playoff-tested wing player defensively, along with now Anthony Davis, Max Christie, Caleb Martin, all can play both ways, both sides of the ball. And
oh my God, I got stuck. I think I got stuck.
The biggest domino of them all right now,
those are whites?
Is Miami Heat's Jimmy Butler. We've been talking about it for the last 2 months. Jimmy Butler and where he could end up. This has implications for several teams. Obviously, the Warriors and Suns atop them because they have been in conversations with Miami over the last couple of weeks, even strongly.
Don't help.
There's a slew of other teams that are going to be
involved. I'm chilling with them. I'm chilling with that.
3, 4, 5 teams. We're going to stay tuned with 2 days left till the trade deadline.
Wow, okay, so we're going to check in with you on that a little bit later in the show. Shams, thank you so very much. I do want to go back to the story of the day. Luka Doncic. He spoke to reporters for the first time as a member
off my court, nigga.
Take a listen to what he had to say.
Yeah, what time we out?
I was almost asleep, so when I got
nah, yo, good fucking game, bro.
I didn't really believe it at first.
Yeah. It's a 20v1.
It was a bit
shocking. That's the only reason why we're going. We're gonna go watch. He's gonna go like, he's one of the contenders, so he's gonna walk in and mad bitches lined up.
But as I said, you know,
we're just gonna go watch.
The greatest club.
Yo, my heart, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna add you, bro. But
this for me is the first
I gotta get off.
I get to play in LA, and the fans are amazing. That's my guy.
Nah, I'm gonna take a picture of your game inside real quick.
It's a really big thing for me. But I'm really excited to be here. I getting to play for the Lakers. Now everybody can say that. And many legends passed here, many championships. So that's my goal.
There was concern that, you know, beyond this summer, or that there's a chance you might not agree to the Supermax extension. Did you or anyone on your inner circle indicate that might be the case?
Absolutely not.
You've been a fan of LeBron. You've talked about it for a long time, but he's also been a fan of you. He's tried to work with you at various different times in the past, whether it be shoe deals or other things. I'm curious, what message did he reach out to you with? Was it a text? Was it a call? What was that? And how did that fuel the way that you think about coming to LA as well?
Yeah, he called me right away. He was in New York, so he called me right away. And we didn't talk much because, you know, he said, I understand what you're feeling. But that was really nice of him just to call me right away and welcome me to LA. It's just like a dream come true, you know. I always look up to him. There's so many things I can learn from him. And I'm just excited, you know, just to learn everything. And now I get to play with him. So it's an amazing feeling. You don't come here for nothing else than championship, so I have everything left to prove. So, and the goal is to win the championship.
Okay, so much there, and no better panel to break it all down with. Rob Pelinka set the stage for this press conference, and he started it by saying, I think Luka Doncic joining forces with the Los Angeles Lakers is a seismic event in NBA history. And I don't think that was hyperbole here, Bobby. What stood out to you the most from what Luka said?
That he was willing to commit 5 years, $345 million, and basically spend the rest of his life in a Dallas Maverick uniform.
Yeah.
Usually we see players trying to force their way out of situations. Here's a player that wanted to be there long term.
Yeah, and Bobby brought this up yesterday, and now let's transfer that to what that means now. The Lakers do not have the Supermax to offer him. That's now against the rules. And so now they have a little bit of work to do between now and the summer. And Bobby talked about this yesterday, and Rob Pelinka talked about this today. They have to work on this roster. But in July, they're going to come to Luka, and they're going to offer him a 5-year contract extension, I assume, without the ability to offer the Supermax. And will Luka sign the 5-year?
Yep.
Will he sign something less than the 5-year? Will he not sign anything at all and roll over towards free agency in 2026? This isn't something that I think should keep people up at night, but is something that Rob Pelinka has to begin thinking about immediately, including before the deadline on Thursday. And he openly talked about how they needed to get a center, and he called the market for centers right now dry.
Yeah, we're going to hear
So that's interesting.
Literally, though, this did keep Luka Doncic up. He said he had to check his phone to make sure this wasn't an April Fool's. That's how shocking this was to him. I think he handled it really, really well, Mark. He answered all of the questions the way that you would hope your new franchise star would, particularly some pretty pointed questions about his exit with the Mavericks, about what people were saying about him, about his conditioning, about his weight. He said that he's going to use all of that as motivation. I think what I took away from it was that he's absolutely open to this. He's excited about this. this, but he did not want to.
Bullshit.
You know what you don't see in psoriasis commercials?
Cut!
The thousands of real people who go undiagnosed. People whose psoriasis can look very different depending on their skin tone. As the makers of Tremfya, we understand that everybody's moderate to severe plaque psoriasis doesn't look the same. So we undertook a first-of-its-kind study of plaque psoriasis in every skin tone. Like hers, and his, and yours.
Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine.
Ask your dermatologist about Tremfya.
To be traded. He made that pretty clear.
Yeah, no, he said he's a loyal guy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Dallas fans aren't happy and they're giving up their season tickets and all that. But I am curious about how he fits into the LA landscape. And what I mean by that is you got Kareem and Magic. He's more Kareem than Magic. He's more Mike Trout than Shohei Ohtani. And I just wonder if he's a guy that he loves the showtime of the game, but once the game is over, he doesn't want to do the celebrity thing. So I wonder how he adapts to LA. Is the constant of everybody expecting to meet you, expecting to have a meeting, expecting you to be in this commercial, expecting to have time with you, because I got money and I got privilege. I think he's going to shoot that down, and I wonder how he adapts to that, to the media, which is going to be much grander, the spotlight. He was big in Dallas, but this ain't the Cowboys. This is the biggest thing here. He says it's the greatest club in the world. So I'm really curious to how he adapts to the brand that is the Lakers and the attention that comes with it.
Yeah.
With the LeBron shield now that will eventually go away.
Yeah, there's no better mentor to that spotlight than LeBron James. But I'm also curious, Luka said that maybe in the next couple of days even we could see him on the floor. Remember, we haven't seen him since Christmas Day. Sinead, what's that going to look like next to LeBron?
Look, it's going to be doable. Yep. LeBron is one of the greatest basketball hybrid vehicles that we have ever seen. I mean, we talk about him combining positions as a point forward, but I think there's going to be a heavy emphasis on screeners, on someone who can go in there and set screens and create offense for LeBron James, something that's different because he's been the primary playmaker. So check out these plays with Reeves initiating the offense. LeBron screens and slips this one time and is able to hit a tough mid-range to score. Now you can set a screen again, LeBron, but instead you short roll. Short roll is probably the best thing, one of the most high IQ basketball plays you can make, because you can make reads off of short rolls. Here you get a pass. And last but not least, when he screens, he's also able to survey the entire floor better than anybody else in the NBA. So here's a nice set screen, and instead you see a swing pass all the way across court, a skip pass to a shooter with a nice in screen on the backside. So LeBron James, it's not just thinking when he brings the ball up. He can now be utilized as a 4 or even potentially as a 5, because they're going to need probably some minutes at the 5 as well to really initiate offense as a screener. And I look forward to see what JJ does, more creatively, especially with LeBron and Luka on the floor.
To your point, they may be playing a little bit of small ball here, particularly after
micro ball.
What we heard micro ball from after what we heard
Remember that, y'all?
from Rob Pelinka here, because that was the other takeaway from this presser, right? Rob Pelinka talking about why this trade was made and what they think they still have to do here. The Lakers have some pretty big holes to fill on this roster. Here's Pelinka on exactly what Brian was talking about, how they replace a player like Anthony Davis.
There's always an urgency to win championships. That's what the Lakers set out to do. That's the expectations of our fans, and we're going to put in the work to constantly try to do it. At the same time, you have to be realistic. And if there's not a championship big on the market right now, I can't wave a wand and create that opportunity. We'll continue to work and look for areas that we can complete and fill out the roster. It's a gift. We're talking about a 25-year-old that is top 3 player in the universe. I can't think of a more amazing starting point to build a roster for the next decade.
Some people in the NBA would submit that he does have a magic wand.
Yes.
So I'm not sure I can take that at face value.
Yeah.
The Lakers have to get a center. LeBron is not going to play center, like, ever. He doesn't want to do it, especially at age 40, even if it's just a stopgap. between now and Thursday. You know, one of the big important things that happened for Luka that unlocked him really in Dallas was when they got those athletic bigs, Derek Lively and Gafford, that they could be role men for him, basket defenders. So just like for years teams had to get shooters to spread the floor for LeBron, the Lakers are incumbent on getting an athletic center. But somebody's got to eat the minutes up. And they have assets. They still have assets. I mean, Maxi Kleber is an asset. I mean, he may never see the floor for the Lakers. They may try to trade him by Thursday. They have some other things. But they are tied with Denver right now in the loss column for 4th place. I'm not looking at this team as a championship contender at the second because of what they're missing. But this is a team that has aspirations immediately, and they need a center, and Pelinka's got to keep working on it.
Well, I think there's a level of self-awareness, and he realized that. But I'll say this: I think the next 6 months from now until August 2nd is the most important 6 months in Lakers franchise history. Just because there's a lot of different layers here, certainly with the trade deadline here, and as you said, you can't wave a magic wand and go get Wilt Chamberlain to come play for you here, but I do think there's a little bit of a sense of urgency to fix that problem leading up until Thursday. Then we look at LeBron in the offseason as far as with that player option, and then we can circle August 2nd, and I know it's a long way away with Luka extension eligible here, but there's a lot of different moves in how that roster improves leading up to all this here. And if you're Luka, you're looking, okay, I've got LeBron, what else do I have? And it doesn't have to be right now. It's certainly going to have to be in the summer.
That's what I was wondering, is whether or not this was Rob Pelinka maybe laying down some of the groundwork here to say maybe that pick is not going to be gone by Thursday. It could be gone at some point this summer. In this 4-game losing streak, that's their 3rd most in any 4-game span in franchise history. I think the Luka AD trade, though, made a lot of people rethink what is actually possible to reshape this landscape a little bit.
No.
Bobby Marks, what is possible for the Milwaukee Bucks who are struggling a little bit here?
Yeah, I mean, how do you get under the second apron in Milwaukee? You're $6.5 million above the second apron, and how do you stay in the top 5 in the Eastern Conference? I think, Malika, you're looking at it here, a player like Chris Middleton. Right? That's the guy that I think I would certainly circle leading up to February 6th.